Now, district assemblies in the Upper West region have put in place stringent measures coupled with government's ban on the cutting and transporting of rosewood. But in spite of this, the practice is still ongoing in some parts of the region. The felling of rosewood and its transportation was at its zenith in 2012, forcing the government to place a ban on its salvaging, cutting and transportation. JoyNews' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports the rare species, which takes about 100 years to fully mature, are being cut into pieces by some unscrupulous persons for export.
On the 8th of September 2020, when JoyNews visited the Dodipapasi community to speak to residents about their expectations.
According to the Environmental Investigation Agency report, about 6 million rosewood trees have been cut down in Ghana for illegal export to China since 2012. Despite government's ban and further tightening other loopholes on the illegal trade and felling of the endangered species, the practice still goes on. The personalities fingered in the act are corrupt government officials and local authorities. The illegal felling of rosewood in the Upper West region could best be described as hide and seek. Here, the illegal loggers finds a district or an outlandish community to ply their trade. When their sins are being exposed, they could go on their quiet and move to another community to continue with their nefarious activities. Member of Parliament for the Upper West constituency, Superintendent retired Peter Tubu, whose constituency he claimed the practice is on the rise, is deeply worried to the marrow.
I got into the forest, I saw beautiful trees that were cut down, and I just began to see a desert that is moving faster downward than ever before. And I'm asking, if this is what we are going to leave for future generations, then we should be doing harm to the future than our grandfathers have done for us. The level of detection will tell you the level of spread. But until you see it, you may think that it's at a particular level, but it may be more than that or less than that. My interest is the fact that this is an illegality and it must stop.
The Upper West District Assembly in 2018 arrested these rosewoods that were illegal cut in some communities in the district and dumped at the Wuchao police station. Upper West District Chief Executive Edward Labiru Sabo agreed hook, line and sinker with Superintendent Peter Tubu on the illegal practice. However, he said it is difficult to fight it because the people are not ready to devote information to enable the security arrest the perpetrators.
So I deployed the police and the military people to the scene. When they got there, they were not able to see anybody. They found out from the communities, they were not willing to show them the area that the people are actually doing the operations. They set search around that area. They patrolled there about 2-3 days. They haven't heard anything. So the operation they are doing there, it is that they have stopped. They have run away. Even as a now, to identify the spot, those people that have been able to know the place, when you ask them to lead you there, they don't really want to go. They will only be sending information across, but when you contact the person that where is actually that area, it becomes a challenge.
Since the practice was done on the quiet and on the blind side of most of the people, the team therefore went on the prowl, driving from one district to the other, looking for communities where this illegal felling of the rosewood is taking place. When we bumped into these 10 pieces of rosewood dumped by the roadside at Paredabu, we knew we were about hitting our target. We managed to meander our way through the forest, which was fast depleting because of the activities of the illegal loggers, and on a bumpy, inaccessible route to get to the Kajipere enclave.
Now join us on Wednesday, May 5 as JoyNews, your home of fearless, credible and independent journalism, partners the Environmental Investigation Agency on the Joy Forum to engage stakeholders in the environment to dialogue on #SaveRosewoodGhana. It's live on this platform, Joy 99.7 FM and myjoyonline.com, plus all our social media platforms. It's at 10 a.m. prompt. Joining us via Zoom is a campaigner for the West and Southern Africa focal point of the Environmental Investigation Agency based in the USA, Kedan Arya. Welcome to the Pulse, Kidan. Why are you at the EIA worried about the illegal rosewood trade in Ghana?
Thank you for having me. EIA is deeply concerned since we work all over the world to preserve forests, and our campaign to protect forests from increasing illicit trade is of the utmost importance, which is why we're so concerned with what's happening in Ghana. Despite 5 generations of bans on the harvest and trade of the species, protected rosewood is still being traded at high rates. We are not talking about a small amount of rosewood that is leaving the country. We are talking about millions of US dollars worth of rosewood that's being traded out of Ghana each month. It made front page news in Ghana earlier this year that 5.6 million US dollars worth of illegal rosewood was exported from Ghana into China in December 2020 alone. This level of illegality should not be happening, particularly in a country known for its strong democratic governance in West Africa. And this particular rosewood in Ghana is protected by international authorities due to its endangered status. At the rate of the current illegal rosewood trade, it is not unreasonable to say that the species faces extinction in Ghana. We are in the middle of a global climate crisis. Illegal deforestation of forests which are critical in absorbing harmful carbon emissions, can accelerate climate change in Ghana, a country that is already disproportionately affected by climate change and at increased risk of desertification in the years to come. So leaders in Ghana have also expressed concern, especially leaders in northern Ghana, that if the rosewood is gone, rivers will dry up, soil erosion will occur, livelihoods could be lost. So these are not small issues. It's worrisome and it must stop.
Very worrisome, Kidan. So what's your expectation in terms of what stakeholders must do to practically stop the trade of rosewood?
Yeah, well, we believe that most stakeholders want to see an end to this illegal trade. There needs to be a re-energized, targeted strategy and stronger political will to do something different this time. It is quite simply not enough to ban the trade of rosewood. Time and time again, it has shown that bans can be ineffective when not enforced, and it's easy for timber traffickers to work around them. And one key issue that many Ghanaian stakeholders have flagged already is that people do not understand how all of this rosewood is leaving the country despite the ban. We hope the Joy Forum on Rosewood that we are partnering with you on will provide much needed space for experts from government, civil society, law enforcement, and communities to come together and discuss the rosewood trade and what is at stake for Ghana if the illegal rosewood trade is not, if it ends. And so we need to figure out what can be done in terms of policy actions, enforcements, and stopping the leakages, and the further policy weaknesses that enable this trade to happen, despite its illegality. The issue is not just an issue for Ghana, it's a global issue, and stakeholders should employ the cooperation of Chinese authorities, international authorities to stop the trade on all fronts. And if Ghana was to declare a zero export quota, the problem would soon cease to exist. So Ghana has an incredible opportunity to seize this moment and not just be a leader in West Africa, but also the world, and letting the legal rosewood trade end in this country and letting everyone know that Ghana will not stand for this illicit trade.
It sounds very direct and very doable, I must say. But I was personally surprised to hear you say that 5.6 million was lost at the beginning of the year, because I've been following the stories that EIA has been doing from as far back as 2019. What would you say to people who doubt if the harvest of rosewood is still happening in the country? Is it still happening in the country now?
Yeah, I would say look at the data. So actually EIA is now tracking the status of the rosewood trade on their website on a monthly basis, and it changes each month. So actually everyone watching live can pull out their electronic device and type in www.rosewoodrevealed.org. And on this website, you can see the most updated statistics that we have on how much rosewood is being exported from Ghana into China each month. So if you actually go to the site right now, we see that international trade data tells us that China declared in their customs about 1.8 million US dollars worth of rosewood in February 2021. That was imported from Ghana. So it's clear that the leakages, weak enforcement of the ban, and corruption enabling the trade that EIA exposed in our report in 2019 still have not been fully resolved. And there's limited transparency and traceability of how this rosewood is actually leaving the country and entering Asian markets, where this rosewood, by the way, is used to make high-end, often expensive furniture items. And the trade occurs while Ghanaian rural communities and the people of Ghana receive little to no benefits due to taxes not being paid on illegal items and the rosewood being taken against the will of many of the community's wishes. And we have heard traditional leaders, for example, in the Savannah region, count this over and over again. So we hope this week that the event will make a difference.
When you say you hope the event will make a difference this week, what specifically are you expecting to achieve? I mean, are we expecting to achieve with the Joy Forum taking place on Wednesday?
Yeah, I think we need fresh ideas and renewed commitment to ending the illegal trade of rosewood in Ghana. We commend the government of Ghana for installing a ban on rosewood, but as the recent data shows, it is clearly not enough. And we saw a few weeks ago the current Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Samuel Jinapor, say that he is displeased with the level of illegality in the rosewood trade. And I think many of us, including Ghanaian public as well, are displeased as well. And we need stakeholders working together to ensure that laws protecting rosewood are upheld and enforced. And we also hope this event ignites further public conversation and visioning for what committed leadership on a national level could look like to end the rosewood trade in Ghana. Ghana is deemed as a shining example of good governance and democracy in Africa. There is no place for this high level of illicit timber trade here. So what would it look like beyond the ban to save rosewood in Ghana? These are the questions that we hope the event will ask. And for years, Ghanaian civil society have put different solutions forward, such as ending salvage permits for rosewood. During EIA's undercover investigation in 2019, traffickers told us that salvage permits enable them to take advantage of the system to procure illegal rosewood under the guise that it is salvaged, when in actuality, it was freshly cut under illegal circumstances. So it is time to focus on real and tangible solutions that can be implemented in Ghana, mapping out the ideas, mapping out an implementation plan to stop the illegal rosewood trade once and for all.
And by salvaged, just for the sake of those viewers who may not understand, you're referring to the fact that it was legal in Ghana for you to sell rosewood logs which had been left there, which had already been cut, and you can just say, I'm salvaging them, as opposed to people cutting them freshly from the forest.
Right. There's a permit in Ghana that at one point, that if, for example, if a rosewood tree had fallen down or had already been cut, that someone could take it legally because they were not freshly cutting it. So many traffickers told EIA that they're using that to work around the system, when in actuality, they are freshly cutting the rosewood, unfortunately.
Thanks, Gideon, for joining us this afternoon on The Pulse. And remember, the Joy Forum is live on this portal at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, May 5.